Hi, my name's Nick Paris and I'm going to show you how to use data acquisition with the iSpeed range of cameras and our control software. We can connect to the camera and now see our application. In this case it's a speaker, physical movement that we can see, and we're going to data acquisition the signals going to this speaker. And so now I'm going to move to the data acquisition panel. We press enable data acquisition, and now we can go in and configure the channels that we require to use. Here we select the USB data acquisition unit that you have. In this case it's a 6341 with B and C connections, and today we're just going to use one channel. I've set up the samples per frame of 20 samples. So this means with an acquisition rate from the camera of 1000 frames per second, 20 samples per frame, therefore our acquisition rate is 20 kilohertz. Once this is all set up, we can see that AI0 is the input channel that we should be connecting our data to, and we can start a live preview and see the data is active and that we've connected it correctly. So we've set up the data acquisition. Now we press OK. We can now start data capture. We can connect to the external sync. We can see 1 kilohertz coming from the data acquisition unit. We can see live data coming in on our graph, and now I can hit record. We pre-buffer till this goes green, and so here we can allow that to pre-buffer. And now I need to trigger the camera. This trigger must be an electronic signal that goes both into the camera and into the DAQ, not a software trigger, as this will not trigger the data acquisition unit. I'm going to trigger the camera in 3, 2, 1, trigger. And so now this trigger has gone through to both the camera and the data acquisition. So now we can see the video and the data graph, and I can press play and we can move through that signal and we can see the acquisition here. So we can step through and see the different data going on. And so this is how we do data acquisition. We can change the size of this graph by changing total samples to graph, but here we can actually save a short amount of video, so we can say minus 100 frames, set, and we can say plus 100 frames, set. And so now we're going to save the video and the data to our hard drive location. So now I hit save. I can save it as DAQ sample, and we're going to save it as just test 1. And so now we hit save. That video is then saved off, as well as the data acquisition file, and so we can then go in and see that video. So now if we hit Explorer and we go in to see, we go sample, and so now we can see the video, we can see the data, and we can see the IXC file. This completes showing you how to use the data acquisition.